against the falsehood, Allah Azza wa Jalla describes the word yadmaghu, which means it doesn't just put a dent on it or a hairline fracture, but it hits it so hard that the inside can be shown, can be seen. That the dimagh shows up now. So the truth destroys the falsehood. We're going to discuss the atheist. A lot of people are so worried about the atheist. How do I deal with the atheist? How do I convince the atheist? And the atheist thinks that they're the one that's rational and scientific because they don't believe in something they haven't seen or heard or touched. So they're rational. But that's not the case, actually, as you will see, inshallah. Those who believe in polytheism. I've got in the course notes just one page basically on polytheism. So I was in South Africa, and the guy said to me that after we took the course, we went home, and I watched my older brother with my own eyes. He picked up the phone and called his Hindu friend since childhood, and he basically went through the page from the notes, just kept going through the arguments through that one page not in these notes, so that's another course. But and he said by the time he got to the end of the page, his friend became Muslim. So I'm showing off about this story to Australia. I'm telling them to look at South African brothers; they're doing better than you guys. Trying to encourage them. So I'm telling the same story. The guy said, "Well, the exact same thing happened to me. I opened up that page on polytheism, called up a Hindu friend, and by the end of the page, the guy became Muslim." Now you might think, "Well, I got to get my hands on these notes. Oh, wow, this is going to be great." No, it's actually just that the truth is very strong. That's it. No magic. No genius. The truth is very powerful. We're going to look at ways of destroying Trinity or talking about Trinity without getting into chapter this, verse that. Just quick and easy ways. Just using these concepts. All right, let's get started. One thing that's very important that I want you to understand: the two types of guidance, and it's so important for du'a to understand them, because once you understand these two, nothing can come in your way. It's so important. Nothing can come in your way once you understand these two. By the way, I am aware of how ridiculous my outfit looks with the sneakers and everything. I'm aware of that. Don't think that I don't know. I do know. But it's I'm going to be standing, so bear with me. It's so important for you to know this, because when you know this, what we're going to talk about now, nothing can come in your way. There's nobody that you can't give da'wah to. It doesn't matter. So, contemplate these verses in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Innaka la tahdi man ahbabt, walakin Allah yahdi man yasha." Verily, you do not guide those whom you love, but Allah guides whomever He wills. Then in another verse, Allah Azza wa Jalla tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And verily, you guide to the straight path. So how do I understand these two verses? One says you don't guide those whom you love. The other verse says you do guide. And the answer is that there are two types of guidance, as the scholars have said. There's Hidayat al-Irshad, or Hidayah Irshadiyya, Hidayat al-Tawfiq, Hidayah Tawfiqiyya. Hidayat al-Irshad, that's your job. It's when you show someone what the truth is, which is what you do as a da'iyah. You tell people, this is the truth, that's falsehood, this is the evidence I have. That's it. That's your job. The rest is up to Allah Azza wa Jalla. When Allah opens that person's heart to Islam. So if you understand that your job is just to direct someone to the truth, the rest is up to Allah, who can stop you from doing anything? Who can stop you from talking to anyone? So many times I would see someone with like piercings and tattoos, in his eyeball and piercings all over the place and purple hair, and I said, I want to give that guy da'wah. People with me will always say, no, looks difficult. All right, let's think about this, people. What's difficult? We have my job, which is to tell them about the truth, or direct them to the truth, and that's easy. And then no one would dare say the second part is difficult. So who can stop you? Who can stop? All you have to do is talk to people. Make it as clear as possible. Wipe away and clear away as many misconceptions as possible. And then, that's it. That's your job. The rest is up to Allah Azza wa Jalla. So I don't care who it is, you can talk to that person. As long as you have a language you can communicate, that's enough. You tell them about Islam. And of course, as a da'i now, you're going to find out what the problem is, find out a little bit about them. All these techniques we're coming to, inshaAllah. And then the rest is up to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can try them again, another time, another date. It's not a problem. Any people here afraid of rejection, don't like to hear no? Pass out a pamphlet, someone says no, no thank you. You feel bad a little bit? Anybody? Yeah? It's not a good thing, right, when you hand someone a pamphlet and they just say, no thank you. They walk away. You're like, so, one time I gave a pamphlet to some lady. She was walking by, and I was asking, what is the purpose of life, ma'am? And she took the pamphlet from me like that. There was a trash can right next to her. She was walking really quick, very smooth, this woman. So she took the pamphlet from me like that, and she said, to find Jesus. Do it right in the trash and kept walking. Didn't even stop. Her pace didn't even slow down. What's the purpose of life, ma'am? She took it from me, to find Jesus. I chucked it in the trash and kept walking. I didn't know what to do. Never experienced something like that. I was just watching her walk away. My friend said, if she comes back, say, hey, by the way, I found him for you. Here you go. Whatever. Okay, so don't be, you're going to be, you might encounter people and they might tell you rudely that they don't want your pamphlet or get out of my way or whatever it is. I don't know how rude people are here, but I don't think that we imagine in the US that everyone in Canada is so much sweeter. Is that true? No? That's too bad. Okay. Well, maybe because there's more violence in the US, that's why. Because when I was in Toronto, I heard that brothers would get spit at 15 times a month when they're giving the da'wah table in the street. And in 15 years, I've never heard of a da'i being spit at in the US. Maybe because we're crazy there. Somebody spits at you, he can expect that he will get shot, stabbed, murdered, put in a plastic bag and frozen over the year. So maybe because we're crazy, people don't do things like that in public, and maybe because people are calm here, maybe they can push it a little, I don't know. But the point is, when someone refuses to accept your pamphlet, you just thank them, tell them to have a nice day, and you keep going. We're coming to that. But I want you to understand this. Your job is just to direct someone to the truth. They become Muslim, alhamdulillah, they don't. That's fine. And you keep moving on. And there are more people to talk to. And you just keep going on and on and on. But, when you want to study something, when you want to do something, you look at what obstacles might come in your path. Some of the obstacles here, I want to move around a bit more. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
5 seconds. Which, let me just see. Do you think any of these might apply to you? We're talking about obstacles. What will stop me from going out and giving some da'wah? What will stop me from going out and being an active and effective da'i? Any of these apply to you, perhaps? Yeah. You don't have to say which one, but yeah? Any of them? Maybe some of you, number 4, you're a bit shy. Feel like I'm a bit too shy, so I can't really go out there. Stand in the middle of that, what do you call that room where you have all the action happening?
North Korea.
The what?
North Korea.
North Korea?
Courtyard, yeah.
Courtyard. So I can't just stand there. People are rushing off to class and I'm trying to shove pamphlets in their face. I'm too shy to do that. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you feel that, I don't have enough knowledge to give da'wah. What if the non-Muslim stops me and says, listen, I want to know what the 4 madhahib say on this fiqh issue. Thinking, IslamQA.com. Right? So these are some of the problems. One, a lot of people expect instant results. And I want to tell you this, that when you're calling your classmates, roommates, people, co-workers to Islam, don't expect that they'll become Muslim immediately. There are a number of things. One, they could become Muslim, within a short period of time. It could be a couple of months or what have you. 2, maybe you'll spend a lot of time with them, they never become Muslim. But maybe you clear away so many misconceptions from their mind that they sympathize with Muslims. That's good for Muslims. For a lot of non-Muslims understand true Islam. That's good for them. It's good when lawmakers understand true Islam, politicians understand true Islam, and they don't believe everything in the media. That's a good investment. You're not wasting your time. On top of that, you're giving da'wah. The act of giving da'wah, you get reward for it. It's not about how many people become Muslim as a result of your da'wah. Just the fact that you're standing and giving da'wah, you get reward for that. True or false? True. And that's why in many verses that we kind of skipped, where Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَمَنْ أَحْسِنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَى إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah, does the good deed, always the action, always calls, does the good deed, and says, I'm from amongst the Muslims. So, you get the reward just for standing and giving that da'wah. Nuh alayhi salam called his people for 950 years, and few of them believed. You telling me he didn't get much reward for the 950? Of course he did. So, don't expect instant results. And you may say something to someone now, and they will take it with them, and 3 years later, something will happen in their life, and they'll remember you, and they'll become Muslim. We had one person, again, I'm trying to stress this point. Don't expect instant results. We had one person in Virginia, and when they would give him da'wah, he would just argue adamantly. Then later on, after he became Muslim, he told them that when I used to argue with you, I was actually internally convinced with everything you said, but I just couldn't lose the argument. See? So when they're giving him da'wah, what do they see externally? He's not accepting the message, but internally he was. So they could have given up because they were expecting instant results. You know, I always joke and say, people now, they expect to start talking to someone in the street. While they're talking, that person's beard starts to grow and grow and grow, and then he's khalas, already a Muslim. It doesn't happen like that. There's a long process that we have to go through. We have to eat kebabs, biryanis, all these things. You just become Muslim like that. Yeah? Excuse my biryani jokes, And a lot of people think I like biryani because I joke about it so much. I don't hate it, but I've got issues with it. I'll explain it to you later when we talk about some other things about it. I have an analogy with your speech and biryani. We'll come to that. If I don't, remind you. Not having enough knowledge. Look, we won't disagree. The more knowledge you have, the more effective you can be. No doubt. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But at the same time, you only need very basic knowledge of the religion in order to call someone to it. Same situation with Abu Bakr radiallahu anh. When he became Muslim, he brought to Islam 6 out of the 10 given glad tidings of paradise. So, at that time, there were not many ahkam or fiqh issues that were revealed, or even ayat that were revealed, but he took the little of truth that he knew and he brought people to Islam. You can do the same thing. Now, your best friend as a da'iyah, when you don't know the answer, is to say, there you go, that's it. Who said because you're a da'iyah, you have to have infinite knowledge? If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know. It's the greatest and easiest thing for you. Your best friend, I don't know. So next time someone asks you, who's your best friend? Say, I don't know. Well, who do you like? I don't know. You understand? Please, people, get used to it. I don't know. It's good. It's easy. It makes your life easier. And it keeps you humble as well. Don't try to wing it. Okay? Be like George Bush, Try to wing it. You make yourself sound worse. Or you get yourself in trouble. Don't. But you know what? I know I'm saying this, but a lot of times young men, they just can't say I don't know. We had a young brother, and if he doesn't know the answer, or someone says, I want to ask the sheikh a question, he says, ask me, let me try it. What is it, an exercise? You're going to try it? Let me try it, like it's a game or something. No. You're going to try it, then you might give a wrong statement, and then that person will take it with them and act upon it. So get used to saying, I don't know. It's really, really good. One of the things one of the great scholars, and they say that when a young man would come to him, and he would tell him a hadith. The hadith, the sheikh memorized it since he was 6 years old. And he knew the tafsir. And he taught it so many times, multiple times. And he taught it in khutab. They said the sheikh would sit and just humbly say, Subhanallah, like he never heard it before. Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. While the young man is telling him the hadith, it's as if he never heard it before, Now, how do we do it now when someone is telling you a hadith and you know the hadith? It's like when someone wants to tell you a joke. You hear the one about the Muslim walked into an airport. It's like, yeah, I heard that one. Stop it. Someone's trying to tell you a hadith and you know it, you stop him now. One time the Prophet ﷺ was one of the companions. Yes, that was Mu'adh bin Jabal. This hadith is narrated in Al-Bayhaqi and in Bukhari and in Muslim. There's a narration there as well, but it has so and so in the chain, so therefore it's weak. Go ahead. I know what you're talking about. Humble people, humble. I don't know. Fine, no, not a problem. Okay. A lot of people feel they need da'wah, and I'm sure all of us in this room feel, I would like to get some da'wah. I would like